Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Symphony Musicians React. My name is Aaron, and I am a classical trombone player, a music theory instructor, and an 8-bit music arranger. And today, we have some fun things to listen to. We have Ghost Love Score by Nightwish. I have a very passing familiarity with Nightwish. I think I listened to their stuff for about 2 or 3 weeks, like 4 years ago. So I know of them, but I haven't listened to their music in a very long time. So I am dreadfully excited to get back in. I have fond memories of their sound. So just without further ado, let's listen to Ghost Love Score. Okay. Yes. Nice. This is cool. This is cool stuff. Yeah. Nice change. Ooh, nice, nice. So good. It's really good stuff. Ooh, where are we going?
Siren from the deep came to me, sang my name, my Lord. Still I wrote my songs about the dream of mine, worth everything I may ever be. Child will be born again, that siren carried him to me. First of them true loves, sitting on the shoulder.
So delicate here.
Without care for love.
Yeah, that's a great solo. I like how it connected to the melody before. Flutes. Where are we going from now? Oh, clarinet. So mysterious. So good. So good. Yes. Yeah. So many changes. So dark. Hibiola is really nice. Fire. The first section's back. Sweet. So good. Those cadences. Okay, that's cool. The power didn't stop. Okay. Whew. My goodness, what a ride! Holy cow! I remember now why I used to listen to Nightwish, and maybe I should do more of it because that was sick, and there was a lot of reasons why it was so cool. I think so. Like the first big thing that I latched onto, and what drew me in immediately to the performance was at the beginning. There was all that space between the big chord hits. It was like da 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 da, or whatever the actual rhythm was. But stuff like that really speaks to me. It really draws me in when we have these like big hits of sound and then space between them. It leaves room for the sound to breathe and for this sort of like heart palpitation of anticipation to fill that void, and so that style really draws me in, and I think that was super effective. It's super effective because it pretty quickly transitions into this really calm, serene, delicate section, which super surprised me. I sort of always remembered Nightwish as like always being about the power, and we totally got a lot of that here. But that pretty extended lyrical section where it was just the singer and like some orchestral accompaniment was like really quite breathtaking. It was something I didn't expect at all, and I think the powerful beginning set that up really well because I was already wrapped with attention by the time that delicate section came up. So they already had me. They had me by the nose, and they were able to give us this really beautiful, haunting, delicate section because we're already paying attention. I think if they had started with that, it would have been less effective because it wouldn't have drawn us in quite in the same way, or at least it wouldn't have drawn me in quite the same way. So yeah, it was super cool, and I loved the difference between the really incredibly smooth, long lyrical lines over top of the like over top of like the metal like riffs and stuff. That created such a beautiful dichotomy of like the stratification of the parts was really cool and gave us a lot of things to listen to at any one time. And those cadences were so nice. There's a real pull, and you hear it reminded me a lot of the soundtrack to Nier Automata. Those same kind of cadences exist there. I think they're like 5/13, some music theory terms, so 5/13 cadences. We get the third of the scale falling to the second to fill out the 5 chord. But anyway, so those were very cool. Speaking of interesting to listen to, I super enjoyed the orchestral accompaniments too. They were really nice. Obviously, the orchestra was canned in this. There was a recording, which is totally fine. I understand. Lots of groups have to do that because hiring an orchestra can be very expensive. But I really liked when we got in that little like interlude section after the delicate bit. We got all those woodwind parts speaking through. We had some nice little flute runs and the clarinet that popped in. It was really nice. I love the sort of warm, rich texture of the clarinet. So hearing that pop in was very heartwarming. And then we got the big French horn riff as we transitioned back into the more aggressive or heroic stuff. And that was an awesome horn lick. Big triumphant brass. I'm sure there were trombones in there probably playing somewhere. But that was awesome. And then basically from there, it's just a banger to the end. We get the return of the opening section, which is great, awesome. In I think it was in one of the first episodes, colleague Steven called the tune, said there was a lot of rhapsodic elements to it, and I super agree, especially in this. I'm not very good at paying attention to lyrics the first time through, so I didn't catch much of the lyrical content, so that's my bad. But I definitely got a sense of it being like a saga, like unfolding orally before me, with all the different sections, and I really liked, again, when the first bit came back towards the end, but with the space, but this time the space was kind of filled in more with like more guitar and stuff. So that was very cool, sort of like bookending it, as one often does in like a saga, right? You sort of come back to the beginning, see how far you've come, the journey behind you, all that stuff. Very, very cool. Was there anything else? I really liked the fiery bullhead. that was a very nice adornment to the stage. Fit the vibe. There was a lot of this sort of like, and I get that Nightwish are like a Slavic band of some sort. They're from the Scandinavia area. I'm not exactly sure where they're from, but there was a lot of that spilled through in the music there, especially those lyrical lines. You could really imagine them coming right out of some like medieval ballad or something, of sort of that area of the world, which is cool. And like, especially in that instrumental section in the middle, at that quiet woodwindy instrumental section, it reminded me a lot, especially like the string chords really reminded me of this sort of like faux fantasy sort of style, that a lot of music is produced in today, sort of like stuff that like isn't historically accurate, but it evokes the style that we sort of like, this nostalgic style of like medievalism, that we've come to sort of like absorb in the culture, styles of medievalism. Yeah, that was an awesome performance. It went places. It came back to certain places. The singer was excellent. The guitar solo was also like really quite restrained and lovely. I liked how it played with the melody that she had presented right before, and he sort of played with that. It was awesome. So like, in general, in closing, Nightwish is great. They have such good musicality, and whoever does their arrangements, I'm not sure who like composed, who fit that piece together, but they did such an amazing job at stringing together all these disparate sections into one like really cohesive, entertaining whole. And like, the singer's phrasing was really nice. She knew how to like end her phrases in like a really satisfying way. Clearly they're all incredibly skilled, and it's like, so as a classical musician, we're always like looking for all these like nitty-gritty details in the music that we listen to, because that's what we're trained to do, and it's so refreshing, I guess, in a way, to see a more like popular ensemble really evoking that high level of musicality that that classical musicians sort of like come to expect. And that's a whole other discussion, the like pros and cons of that. So yeah, in general, that was sick, and very cool. And I'm probably gonna listen to it right again after I turn the video off. That's me. That's my take. I will see all you folks next time.